This show has me in a chokehold and it's not even funny! I think I was just scrolling on the gram when I accidentally came across it. Didn't know anything about it, just liked the art style, so I googled where to stream it and found out it's on Netflix. I don't have Netflix, so, well, what are you gonna do? Except this past week, I've been staying at someone's house to dog sit, and they were like, hey, you can have access to all our streaming services, which included Netflix. So I thought to myself, okay, Voltron has 8 seasons. I'm here for a week, but I have a lot of things I want to get done in that time, so I'll only watch about 2 seasons. I watched the whole thing. A show has not had me this... I couldn't control myself! Every day I would wake up and watch Voltron until I went to sleep. And that's all I would do. Every day! And I couldn't stop until it was done! I only took breaks for meals and taking care of the dog, which was the whole point of me being there in the first place. But now I have finished it, and I am finally free. My will is now my own. And now I will talk about it. It's so good! It is so good! I have not looked at the fandom for the show. Honestly, I'm really scared too. I'm so scared. I'm so afraid I'm going to see people, I don't know, talk about stuff they don't like about it. Because I like every aspect of the show, and I don't know how controversial that is, because I haven't looked at anything. So here's what I do know. This is a reboot of a show from 1984, which I haven't seen, but I do want to watch at some point, but not now, because I have watched too much TV in the past 4 days. I need to stop. First things first, the plot. Adore it. It feels so natural. Like, yes, this is the natural progression of how things would go. All the villains, all the issues they run into with power vacuums and cleaning up the messes left behind. I love the way all 8 seasons feel to me like one complete story. There are certain arcs within those stories, certain seasons focus on certain villains or issues, but it's all cohesive and it all leads to one ending. It's one full, complete story that feels like it was always where it was meant to go. I mean, you can disagree, but that's just my feelings, though. But the thing the show really excels at is the characters. They are the reason why you watch the show. I mean, cool robot fights, but also, I want to see the guys! I'm going to go through the list. Starting with Shiro. Starts out as the leader, then goes missing and becomes... I don't know, he's there, he's important. By the end, he's found his place as the guy in charge of Atlas, which is very good, we're all proud. But boy, does he have trauma! He's scarred, bruised, broken, lost an arm, got a robot one, got a less cool robot one. Why is it so far away from his shoulder? I also really like his little white tuft. Ever since January of this year, I have been in an intense DC phase, and it is not slowing in momentum. It's actually speeding up. It's like a ball rolling down a hill. And my favorite character is Jason Todd Red Hood, and he also has a little white tuft. I love that design so much. Not gonna lie, I accidentally did call Shiro Jason a couple times. Hunk! I want to give him a hug. I want to be his friend. He's so friend. I want to be his friend. Small character analysis here. I love his fear makes him braver, because he's always the most scared in these death-defying situations. He's also the one who has to overcome that fear. During one of the most harrowing, darkest episodes of the show, the Paladins are all floating in space for who knows how long, all alone, drifting in space, slowly going mad. It gets seriously heavy, and eventually all the characters start to snap, except Hunk, because he's braved everything else before. He's the one who has to be brave now for all of them, and he saves them, and that's awesome. I actually cannot choose a favorite character from the show. They are all so lovable, and I want to hold them in my hands, but it's definitely between Pidge and Keith. I just realized that Pidge's name was 1 letter off from mine, but she's so much smarter than I'll ever be. She's so cute! Look at her design! I feel like... I don't want to say that she's the one I identify the most with, because she's so much smarter than me, and I have a brain the size of a goldfish. But she's green, she's short, she's a gamer, she loves her family, and I love her humor. I'm those things! She's everything I want to be! One day, I'll graduate from Pudge and become Pidge. You'll see! Keith. I have such a soft spot for characters like him. He's so cool. And then he got a scar and got even cooler. I had an inside joke with myself as I was watching Voltron, which means I don't expect anyone else to find it funny. Since season 1, I wanted to see Keith put his hair up. Pull it back into a ponytail or a bun, I don't care, I just want it. It would look so cool. I am here to spread my Keith putting hair up propaganda. And it wasn't just Keith, it was every dude that had longer than average hair. That one episode where Shiro's hair had grown out really long. You know what would get that hair on your face? A hair tie! But he didn't do it. But you know who did? Matt! You mad lad! Bro looks like Link, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. I want to give you a high five. Lance! had the biggest character arc throughout the show. From season 1 to season 8, he is a new person, and I love that for him. At the beginning, he was hitting on every girl he saw, except for Pidge. Thank goodness Pidge was spared. And you know, there was no way he is actually getting with Allura. She is so out of his league, and he's being weird about it. But he grows and matures as a person, and eventually gets the girl! I did not see that one coming, but it feels natural and earned. Throughout the show, I was wondering who Allura was going to get with, because, I mean, clearly she's going to end up with someone. At first I thought maybe Keith, they're going on some solo adventures together, and then it looked like maybe Shiro, they're both leaders, it makes sense, and then I was thinking Keith again. I didn't actually ship any of these, I was just trying to figure out who the options were. I was not expecting it to be Lance, but you know what? Good job! Claps all around! Especially during the Lotor arc. Lotor was cool! He's actually redeemable. It's too bad he was... Well, that's his character flaw. And Karan, you beautiful mustached man, you have no flaws. This show does really well with balancing angst and fluff. We get the heavy-hitting moments, but also the slice of life, and I really appreciate that. As much as I thrive on angst, and I love the way it tugs at the heartstrings, sometimes you just want to have a goofy grin and kick your feet of joy. Now, I'm going to talk about some of my favorite fluff episodes. The D&D episode! I love it so much! I've never played D&D before, but I've always wanted to, and I still hope to someday. I love episodes like this, where there's a random episode where for some reason or another, the characters are reimagined to a classic fantasy world. The original 90s X-Men show did it, I was a sucker for the medieval What If episodes, and I'm so glad Voltron did it through the lens of D&D. I love the gag where Shiro just dies over and over, and that he's not being very creative with it, seeing as he's choosing to play as a paladin, and that's what he is in real life. Also, I didn't catch this at the time, because I don't remember if they said his full name earlier in the show, but he named his character Takashi, and in later seasons, they called Shiro by his full name, Takashi Shirogane, and I was like, wait a minute! He didn't even name his D&D character something different! Anyway, I love all the video game references, and I was just giggling the whole time. My other favorite episode was the game show episode. It's so fun, it made me realize I would watch a whole show of just this. An animated, scripted game show that's just wild. Because it's not real, you can do whatever you want. You can put the contestants in any situation. You can have all sorts of people on. Do crossovers with other franchises, that'd be sick. Complete with fake commercials. There's so much you could do with that. Anyway, the game show episode, Garfle Warfle Snake, is hosted by Bob, and the explanation for this whole thing is that Bob is some celestial being that, judges the worthy or something on this game show. It's literally not even important, it's just an excuse to have a game show episode, and I respect it. But not only did this episode give us wonderful character moments, but it also gave me the one thing I've been asking for since the beginning. Keith with his hair up! Kinda, sorta, I mean, it's up! I mean, he has a pacifier in his mouth, but I'm taking it as a win. Also, Lance not remembering any of the characters' names is so real. I am struggling to remember what side character did what. I'll see them and I'll recognize them, but I'll be like, I have no idea who you are. All the Galra, most of them just blend together. The gang will be like, I remember you! You were there when this and that happened, I don't know. And I'm just like, I don't remember any of that. At all times, I think I need, a character dictionary. Oh, and all the times? Ticks and Doboshes and, Phoebes and Decaphebes. I'm trying to keep track. It is really cool world building, and I love it so much. But my brain does not have enough to hold all that. I don't know what else to say, so I guess I'll talk about the ending. I don't cry, ever. I keep track of how many times I cry in a year, because I want to know. And last year I only cried 3 times, and this year I haven't cried at all yet. I don't know why. I promise I feel emotion. I'm just dry. So when I say that this episode, the last one, made me get tears in my eyes, for me, that's the equivalent of bawling my eyes out. I didn't actually cry, the tears didn't roll down my face, it doesn't count. But, man, why did they do that? I don't know, I haven't really, I guess some of the things were kind of spoilery, but heavy spoilers here. Why did they have to kill Aurora? Wow! I'm dying a little. What? My goodness. I'm not upset. I'm just sad. But I'm also confused. Why did Lance get the Altean markings? You're not Altean. You can't just change species. And they never explain it. And Altea is just back? And Dibazol? I don't know, it's the last episode, I don't care. As long as they all get a happy ending, I'm chill. And dude, you have no idea how much this means to me! This image of all of them grown up! Pidge has had her growth spurt and is tall and has her special high-tech Tony Stark glasses. Both Hunk and Shiro have facial hair, and Shiro has old man glasses. Lance's pointy chin is no longer pointy. But the best thing of all! Look at Keith! He finally put his hair up in a ponytail! We win these! Boo, bet you didn't expect me to be here. In the end card, you have one guess as to what I'm going to tell you. If you guessed like and subscribe, you're dead wrong! I'm gonna tell you to comment something! You should say, anything you want to. That's nice. Okay, bye.